Who would win, Ngannou or Aspinall?
Francis Ngannou. Yeah, I'm not a fan. You'll have to play that one out in your head because I don't see that happening.
Dana White has addressed the growing buzz about a possible Francis Ngannou return to take on Tom Aspinall, and the MMA world can hardly believe it. The idea of this blockbuster showdown has set the fight community on fire. Rumors suggest Ngannou could be tempted back into UFC for a mega clash with Aspinall, but Dana has made it clear, while the fight will be massive, there are still major hurdles standing in the way.
Obviously, you know, this John Jones thing is what a lot of people are talking about. I wonder, is there anything that PFL or Francis can do to make that a realistic option for you guys, or are you fully focused on Aspinall?
Yeah, it's Aspinall's fight. I mean, we've been talking to this kid forever about it, and it's his fight. Listen, you can't make people fight. If John doesn't want to fight, can't make him fight. We can try to make him fight. We can throw things at him that inspire him to want to fight, but we'll figure it out.
We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company. More than Lesnar, more than anybody. And he turned the deal down. I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release him from his contract. We're gonna give up our right to match, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants. Do I regret the time that I gave him? Yes. Listen, if you look at what he's accomplished in the sport, you know, no, it is what it is. I obviously feel bad for Tom that he lost all that time and obviously money, but yeah, we'll make it up to him. Tom Aspinall's a good guy. He's been incredible through this whole process that we've gone through. He's been willing to do anything, fight him anywhere at any time and do this, and now he's like, I'll fight anybody. You tell me who and I'll fight him. So Aspinall's been great. He's going to be a great heavyweight champion for us, and I'm excited to work with him.
And still, fans can't stop buzzing about it. Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou, the ultimate dream fight in heavyweight MMA. Aspinall, the reigning interim champion, is a fast, technical, and dangerous force. Across from him stands Ngannou, the man who left the UFC as one of the most feared knockout artists in combat sports history. This will be more than just a fight. It will be a clash of eras, a showdown to determine who truly deserves the crown of the most dangerous man in the division.
I have a lot of respect for Francis, and I really appreciate his story. But it's hard to debate right now. Like, the guy he's fighting, he's not elite, do you know what I mean? And the guys he'll be fighting in the future aren't elite, and it's as simple as that. Like, these aren't the best guys in the world. Like, the guy he's fighting fought a friend of mine and a training partner of mine at Ante Delia last year, and Ante just destroyed him within a minute or two. Took him down, ground and pounded him, and stopped him within the first minute, and now this guy's fighting Francis Ngannou. So the guy isn't elite, his opponent. Yeah, he's big, yeah, he's powerful, yeah, he can knock you out, but he's not an elite heavyweight. I'm not disrespecting him, but that's just the honest opinion.
Yeah.
The elite guys are not in PFL. The elite guys are in the UFC. So, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for Francis and his story and what he's done in the sport. But it's difficult to say that he's the best heavyweight in the world when he isn't fighting elite guys right now.
I'm imposing an International Fight Week deadline. Right here and now, I'm imposing this deadline. And by the way, they announced that they're going to do a press conference tour for Canelo Crawford, and one of the stops is June 27th, the day before Ilya versus Charles, International Fight Week, 317. I'm imposing an International Fight Week deadline. An announcement must be made. A decision must be made. That's when the eyes of the MMA world are on the UFC. It's their Super Bowl. Announce Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Announce Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou, which would be the ultimate swerve. Not going to happen, but would it be something? Or just announce Tom versus Cyril Gane. One of those. International Fight Week, it must be done. That's the deadline. I'm imposing that. I think they're going to adhere to my ultimatum. Greater chance of happening in your career before it's all said and done. Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou. Yep. Tom Aspinall versus John Jones.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's so difficult to say, because if I sit here and say John's done, I don't know John. So I don't know if he is done or not. I don't know if this is normal.
Izzy yesterday said he thinks he comes back.
Maybe Izzy knows him better than I do. I don't know John. I don't claim to know John. I know he's going through some demons right now, and I genuinely wish him the best of luck. Genuinely. I have no ill will towards him at all. I hope that everything's all right with his life.
Do you think he retired because of all this?
I don't know. I don't know why is that why they announced it early, in your opinion?
I thought so.
Yeah.
And then I asked the reporter who broke the news, and he said he was sitting there. He saw the news. It was a local reporter in New Mexico. And he said, let me just take a look at the police records of the last few months, see if anything pops up. And there it was.
Oh, really?
It was in February and somehow got...
I wasn't sure if it was like a prearranged question.
Seems crazy. No, I don't think so. But it's just an insane coincidence. Maybe the UFC thought it was coming and they were trying to get... I don't know. But the whole thing is very weird.
I don't know. They said that they spoke to him last night, so maybe it was just fresh on his mind and he was just like, I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to say it. Who knows, man? They knew that I was coming to Vegas this week, though, so I don't see why they didn't just wait. But that ain't my job, man. I'm just here to fight people, that's all.
I think if there was anybody that he could beat, it would be Wilder. He's one of the hardest punchers ever. But as far as actual boxing ability, his level's way lower than someone like an Usyk or a Tyson Fury or somebody like that. But the guy's punching power is absolutely like off the chart. It's absolutely ridiculous, out of this world. But I think he's quite hittable, and his fight IQ doesn't seem to be like great. I think if there was any of them who he could beat, it would definitely...
Dana White remains doubtful. He's never hidden his frustration about Ngannou walking away, signing with the PFL, and chasing big money boxing fights against names like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Dana has often said that Ngannou made his choice and that the UFC moved on. Still, when asked directly about the possibility of a showdown with Tom Aspinall, he admitted it would be enormous, even if, in typical Dana fashion, he downplayed the chances of it happening anytime soon. But let's imagine it for a moment. How would Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou actually unfold? Fans are already divided. Some believe Ngannou's raw, unmatched power is too much to handle, that a single clean shot could shut down Aspinall's night instantly.
You and Ngannou, for me, that right now is the fight to make.
I'm not sure on his circumstances. I know that he didn't have the best relationship with the UFC.
He's late 30s, you are in your prime. How you guys match up?
I like it. I like the fight. I think that he's very, very dangerous. But man, this is MMA. Well, you never know until you get in there, so I'll fight anybody.
Well, Tom Aspinall, good one?
Huh?
Tom Aspinall, maybe?
Who?
Tom Aspinall?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I asked Eric the same.
But Francis Ngannou, who is a literal freak of nature. I mean, this guy grew up in Cameroon and was working in the sand mines when he was a child.
Okay.
Like a fucking Conan movie.
Like full on,
like
yeah.
this
That's exactly.
warrior.
Conan's like pushing the thing around in a circle.
Wheel.
Yeah.
He's developing his body, digging the sand all day. He's
okay.
Supremely physically advanced.
He looks fit.
He's not just fit. He's the hardest puncher ever measured in all of MMA. There's a machine that we actually have outside at the gym. And if you hit this thing, Francis has hit it harder than any person who's ever lived. Yeah, well, look at him. That's what I tell people about Ngannou. You think you know what it seems like when someone hits someone really hard, and then you see Francis hit people. Some new thing going on with that guy. Natural guy who's got to cut weight to get down to 265. And when he hits you, you literally can't take it. The only guy who's been able to do it right is Steve.
The UFC, they were hyping the hell out of Francis, and I go, man, you are not hyping your champ if this fight gets out of the first round.
On the other hand, many argue that Aspinall's speed, sharp accuracy, and dangerous ground game could completely shut down Ngannou's wild power shots. The belief is that the deeper the fight goes, the more the advantage swings toward Tom, whose conditioning and technique could overwhelm Ngannou over time.
Aspinall's one of the fastest heavyweights. His ability to move, like the way he moves, is so much different than everybody else in the sport. Look how fast he moves in. I mean, that guy's so fucking fast. Yeah. He moves like a 175-pounder. He doesn't move like a 250-pound guy. Look how quickly he closes the distance, man. His hand speed and full range of skills. Incredible stand-up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler. His everything, and he's young.
Martial arts for me, I want to find out stuff about myself. That's a big part of what it is. It's not just about going in there and knocking someone out. Yeah. Like, that's fantastic. I'll take that. Getting loads of money and driving around in a nice car, like, that's cool. But also, I want to find out what I'm all about in the later rounds as well. So that's always a backlash I get from, you know, opponents teams. I hear people speaking about it on the interviews and podcasts. And the biggest disadvantage is that Tom's got is he's not had the rounds. Look, I completely agree.
Tom is probably the most prolific finisher in all of mixed martial arts. The only questions that we haven't seen about Tom is, what is he like when he gets to the later rounds? We got to assume that he's going to be good. The man can wrestle. He's got jiu-jitsu. He's got ridiculous knockout power. He's fast. He's quick. He's a hell of an athlete. He's very agile.
Here's a question with Aspinall. What happens with Aspinall in the second round? You want to talk about a guy who sprints. Yeah. You want to talk about a guy who's fast. The fastest heavyweights. He might be the fate in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody moves like that guy does. He beat everybody else's ass too. All the other heavyweights, ragdoll dudes way bigger than him. He's just a freak, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. I mean, he knocked out Sergey, who's the scariest striker in all of MMA, and he knocked him out in the first round. And the way he did it was just picture perfect. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem. At a 250 plus pound frame, his movement's extraordinary. And that's something you have to deal with. Like, that is a crazy ability. Like, his ability to move, like the way he moves, is so much different than everybody else in the sport. He moves like a 175 pounder. He doesn't move like a 250 pound guy. Look how quickly he closes the distance, man. His hand speed and full range of skills. Incredible stand up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler, his everything, and he's young.
So what's your prediction if it happens?
It's hard to bet against John. It's hard to bet against John, but John's not a real heavyweight. Yeah. John could make light heavyweight 100%. He weighs 230 right now, maybe a little less than 230. There's no doubt in my mind that if John just changed his diet and went back, he hasn't put that much.
It's the classic debate, brute power versus technical mastery. And with Ngannou spending his recent years in boxing, the conversation gets even more intriguing. Has his time in the ring sharpened his striking to a new level, or has it left him rusty and vulnerable to the complete skill set of Tom Aspinall? Fans are imagining every scenario. Gane detonating a knockout in the very first round, or Aspinall slipping under a punch, dragging him to mat, and finishing with a submission. But while this dream matchup dominates discussion, the heavyweight division itself remains in turmoil. Right now, Aspinall is booked to defend his interim belt against Cyril Gane in Abu Dhabi this October. Yet Tom has openly voiced frustration, saying Gane doesn't deserve another shot, pointing out how he previously avoided him. To Aspinall, this feels like UFC politics favoring convenience over merit, and many fans agree. They're calling for the biggest, boldest fights possible.
One good thing to come out of this for Tom Aspinall, other than the heavyweight title, is kind of his aura now. When the greatest of all time won't even step in a cage with you, it builds up who you are, right? You have that fear factor of the guy who everyone was scared of is scared of him. How fucking good is Tom Aspinall? Very good is the answer. And it's funny because in all of the posturing that John did in the tweeting and the interviews, and I don't care, I don't want to fight him, he doesn't do anything for all of that coping that we witnessed, where he was trying to say everything he could to make himself feel better about not wanting to fight this guy, and telling us all how unbothered he was in fighting Tom Aspinall, showed exactly how bothered he was. Because John Jones, like, you know, even though he thinks he's smart, he's a child, right? And he doesn't realize in all of that coping, we can read him like a fucking book. And all he's done is kind of promoted Tom Aspinall for an entire year.
The silent assassin of the heavyweight division.
Okay, well then why didn't he fight him? If John's not scared, and we believe that, and it wasn't about money, then how do we interpret the refusal of doing it?
I think he's awesome, man. I think he's awesome. I think he should go on and have a wonderful career.
Do you think that he needs you?
No, I don't think he needs me. I think when you want something bad enough, and if you get it, it could be the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
So me and Cyril, we've been supposed to fight each other a couple of times before.
Similar age as well. You were kind of both come through, right? Well, he's a tiny bit older than you, isn't he?
I think he's a little bit older, and he has a couple more, or at least he started his career in the UFC a little bit earlier than I did. I was trying to fight him because he was like kind of just a little bit above me all the time. Fight never materialized. He turned me down a couple of times, to be honest.
Did you have any idea what you were doing next and when you'll be back in the octagon?
I do, but I also want to keep my job. So there's not much I can say on it, to be honest. But
Will you fight this year?
I'm going to be fighting hopefully twice this year. That's my plan. At least I think I've wasted enough time. We're looking for we're looking to get a fight booked quick, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty soon anyway. And then hopefully, if everything goes well in the first one, I'm uninjured, which is, it's easier said than done, getting through a fight. The heavyweight division is not exactly on fire at the moment from a name point of view. I think the talent's there, but if you look 5+ years ago, just the name value in the top 15 was incredible. We're talking guys like Fabricio Verdun, Cain Velasquez, JDS, Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar, etc. Like the list of Stipe, the list goes on and on and on. Like you look through the top 15 and you're just like, wow, that is incredible. Whereas now even me who's a heavyweight, I look through the top 15 and I'm like, I'm not really seeing him fight before, do you know what I mean?
And through it all, Francis Ngannou's name refuses to fade from the conversation. But then there's a looming figure of Jon Jones. His shadow hangs over the entire heavyweight division. Dana White has even admitted he doesn't trust Jones to headline the UFC's rumored White House card, pointing to his history of inconsistency. Still, fans keep pressing the same question. Why not Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall?
So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feelings that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. The only thing to have an American guy fight for the championship that night, I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
And that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again.
There's one guy who could mimic a Jon Jones on the feet. It's Rieker Verhoeven.
He's going to wipe the floor. He's going to wipe the floor with Jon Jones.
You believe
Jon Jones 100%. Doesn't have a chance versus Tom Aspinall. Mark my words. Tom Aspinall is a freaking monster.
I love it.
On his feet and on the ground. So, and I truly believe that Jon Jones has never faced somebody that is that good on his feet. On the ground, he's faced some guys that are pretty good. But on his feet, I think Tom is, he would even do good in the kickboxing ring. He would be a top competitor to fight me as well.
The fact that the illustrious career of Jon Jones, the supposed greatest of all time, ends at a post-fight press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, is a joke. Is an absolute joke. I'm sorry, but this is an absolute joke. Tom Aspinall is going to Las Vegas. At the very least, present him the title. At the very least, do something to make it up for this guy who has been sitting there watching his career just waste away for the past 7 months. Oh, by the way, his last fight was almost a year ago, 11 months. Do something. This is the way it happens. This is the way it happens. Something that could have happened at the post-fight press conference in New York. Jon Jones never wanted to take this fight. And anyone who tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. As I've said time and again, Jon Jones asked for a lot of money. He asked for the number that everyone was talking about. He's asked for a lot of money, and as I said time and again, he deserved that money. He earned that money. After much negotiation, the UFC got him that money. Did they ask for help? That remains to be seen, but they got him the number. And Jon Jones said he was in. And then a couple of days later, he said he was out. And ever since then, the UFC has been trying to convince him to come back, to take the fight, one last fight. And he said no. Dana White guaranteed this fight would happen. He guaranteed it would happen as recently as a couple of weeks ago. It was already not a thing. The way in which this has been handled has not been great. And the fact that Tom Aspinall, at the very least, couldn't get some sort of, oh, here's the belt, here's the ceremony, here's your fight, here's your date, is shameful.
These are the matchups fans have been begging to see. Yet politics, injuries, and egos continue to block the way. The stigma around Jon Jones is that he's been avoiding Tom Aspinall. Many believe Jones cherry-picked Cyril Gane, grabbed the belt, and then sat on the sidelines, avoiding the true test against the division's most dangerous man. And when Aspinall himself says he's no longer interested in fighting Jones, calling it a waste of time, the narrative only grows stronger that the fight may never happen. Oh, here we are. Dana White downplaying the chances of Ngannou's UFC return. Tom Aspinall calling out the politics. Cyril Gane stepping in as the placeholder challenger, and Jon Jones remaining the great unknown. The heavyweight division is as thrilling as it's ever been, yet also more divided than ever before. And that leaves the fans a dream. What if Ngannou really did come back? What if Tom Aspinall met him inside the UFC cage? Would Aspinall's speed and slick skill finally dismantle the legend of Ngannou's power? Or would Francis prove once again that his knockout ability remains the most devastating weapon in the sport? No matter what Dana White says, the cloud will hang over the division until we see Ngannou return or Jones truly tested. The UFC heavyweight division will always feel like it has unfinished business at the very top.